Listen, today's that day. We all have been working very hard. Please, my Windows of Hip Hop team, come up. My Nilka, Karina.
Come on, Nilka. Come on, family. Windows of Hip Hop, Max. Paul, where you at, Paul?
That's right. Now, before I continue, I have to dedicate this night to my mom, Nora, who's right there.
Okay. Hey,
Please let me stand up because she's my foundation. If it hadn't been for her supporting me and not thinking that my dream was crazy, I wouldn't have been able to go there. And the fact that my baby sister's here means the world to me.
Alright.
And to top it all off, I want to make sure to highlight that my friend Kim Elba and Isan Elba and Andrew came all the way from Atlanta to come be here. And my best friend came from Puerto Rico.
Love is love.
This is hip hop. This is what it is. It's all of us. It's in all of us. And I know it affected me. The way it affected me is with Ralph McDaniel. If it wasn't for Ralph McDaniel telling me that I can do this, I wouldn't have. So there's some serious announcements we'll be making tonight.
Oh yeah.
So, as you all stand right now, right above you, we will be building a tower. Right in this building, in the Black House. The Black House will be home of hip hop. Yeah. That's right.
Come on, y'all. We need y'all to make some noise for that. I don't think you fully understand what she just said. Okay? Hip hop does not have a home. Okay? The Bronx is the home and the birthplace of hip hop, but there's no place that you can physically go if you come from somewhere else and say, I'm in the home of hip hop. Right now, hip hop has a home. Okay? Come on up, y'all.
So, within that hip hop, it will be called the Windows of Hip Hop Tower. And in that home will be housed the Windows of Hip Hop School and the Bronx Hip Hop Hall of Fame.
Give it up. Give it up. Give it up.
Supports me, all of hip hop, all generations. I am proud to know that one of our brothers went to Harvard, because what it does, it tells the young people that you can make it. And we all had a goal and all had a dream. And this was mine. And my mother allowed me to have this dream, even though a lot of people thought I was crazy. So,
no doubt.
So that you can all see what we're about to reveal. Drum roll.
All right, so listen.
Wait. Because I haven't mentioned that it hadn't been for this man to believe in the dream. Because we met so many people, but they didn't love hip hop. So if you don't love hip hop, you can't build a hip hop home. But this man, Capone, Al Capone, he believes in hip hop. And he believed in my dream and made it his own. So I'm going to give him the floor.
Out loud, y'all. Knock it up. Knock it up.
This is an amazing night for us. I'm going to tell you why. I hope you can deal with it. So, in '78, I left Eden Wall. I'm from the Bronx. I was born in Jacoby Hospital. Jacoby baby. So what happened is, I started getting into these breakdancing contests, and my mother looked out the window one day and caught me standing in front of a dude like this. She said, "Get upstairs, Alberto, get upstairs." So this was an issue because my mother felt like this thing that we were celebrating, this new form of culture that was coming out of one of the arms of hip hop, was too rough. So every breakdance contest that I had for the next year, it had to be in my mother's living room, and she had one of these green shag rugs. It was burning my leg. And somehow, some way, I don't know how poor you gotta be to get evicted from the projects. That's what happened to us. And I came to Harlem, and I bumped into a dear friend. Not a friend, he is my dear friend. He is my dear, dear friend, Dougie Fresh. Dougie Fresh. And Doug had a voice that was in the middle of changing. So you hear what he say, we were kids, we had little kid voices, and we were just going from jam to jam to jam. And when I say jam to jam to jam to jam, we had no idea we were building hip hop. We had no idea. We just loved this thing. We loved to iron our clothes and walk from this borough to that borough and go to the T Connection in the Harlem World. We didn't know we was building hip hop. But we were. And I'm gonna tell you how funny things are. At some point, we began to steal electricity from the light pole. This is gonna be amazing to you. We began to steal electricity from the light pole. And then I left hip hop alone. I was so distraught, I was so poor that I thought that there had to be a better way for me to provide for my family. And I was 15, and I remember Supreme was here. Doug came to perform for a guy named Yogi in Astor Row. You remember that night? And Doug saw me there and said, "Hey Al, what's wrong with you?" And I said, "Oh, I gotta do stuff, man. I'm in the streets." And he was like, "Yo, this is gonna MCing." That's what he called it. He said, "MCing is gonna blow up." He didn't even call it hip hop. It wasn't hip hop yet. We didn't know what we were building. And I said, I gotta do some things, you know? And I felt so ashamed because I knew who he was to me. And so somehow, some way, stealing from that light pole turned me into an electrician one day. Wow. And then after I became an electrician, I became a carpenter. When I realized I was a carpenter, it wasn't long after that I realized that I was a contractor. And when I started building this stuff, because here's another funny thing. Alicia walked in this building when you could see the sky through the roof. Keys. Alicia Keys. Swiss's wife.
Not Alicia Brown.
And she convinced me to have a party for Swiss Beats. And I said, no. I told Alicia Keys no 105 times. Mo is here. Mo, you know, it wasn't easy because she wanted to have a party in an abandoned building. She came to see me Thursday night and wanted us to build this room on Tuesday. Hold on, Mo. And Swiss knew nothing about this. And we built this room in 4 days. This room.
We were building while the party was happening down here.
I was on the ladder doing electricity when guests were arriving. I say all of this to say that.
Hold on. And I didn't even know that this was yours, and she called me to come up here.
Hey, listen to me. This is what's amazing about it. Because somehow, some way, time after that, I realized that I wasn't a contractor anymore, but that in fact, I was a developer. Amen. I was a developer. Now, there's some people that believed in me. Now, I believed in her, but there's some people that believed in me. Mark Lee, come up here. Mark Lee, come up here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my brother. I know we don't look alike, but this is my brother. And without him, the Bronx Hip Hop Hall of Fame would just be what I was thinking. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. We intended to do something here that we can do as of right. So in other words, most projects start out with a dream and you need somebody else to help you with it, right? Amen. We didn't have that problem because we have the building. And because we have this building, we can do whatever we want to do with this building. And what I wanted to do was build a hotel. Now those same tears that I cried the night when Dougie Fresh told me, don't give up on hip hop, don't give up on MCing. came full circle back to me when Melissa walked in the door one day talking about hip hop and it needing a home. And I would not have this day until Ruben Diaz gave me his blessing. I would not have even come up on this stage. I told everybody yesterday, I won't go up on that stage without Ruben Diaz. So let me show you something. This on the monitors right now, what you're seeing is what our building is. Please proceed. So this is how big the building is. It's 59,000 square feet, and as of right, we had the ability to make it 78,000 square feet, meaning that we had a 2.0 FAR. That means that if we had one pancake, we had the ability to put another pancake up on top of that pancake. So I had the idea not to put it flat, but to stand it up so that we can build a tower. Can we see the view from this tower? Okay, now listen. Some things are artificial. That is the actual site. We had to use a drone, of course, to do it, but that is the site from the 20th floor of our tower. Now, can I see Manhattan? Can we see? That's Manhattan. That's the sky. That's the view from on this roof. Swiss know.
We was partying.
That's right. We party up there. So let me see some other views. Can I see something else, X? Oh, that's it, y'all.
That's high.
That's the tower.
Welcome to Windows of Hip Hop Tower.
Okay, so now, what we like to acknowledge that one of these buildings have a mic on top of it. Stay there, X. Now, that is the Hip Hop Tower. That is the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. And the building in the back of it is the hotel we envisioned being there in the first place. So the South Bronx has come full circle because just a few years ago, and I don't mean 5 years ago, I mean 2 years ago, people said, "You crazy." And then we painted the building black and it became the Bronx Black House. And then people say, "Wait, you still crazy, but at least you got a black building." And now it's this. And I'm so pleased to announce it with my brother, Uncle Red. And when I tell you Red paid special attention to me growing up, I mean special, supreme. I mean, come on, man. I can see what you're doing. And if I can see what you're doing, people from across the street can see what you're doing. Maybe you shouldn't be doing that. That was Uncle Red my entire life. And so I just want to say that we are pleased. This is not a figment of our imagination. And one day, soon, when everybody else is getting on the train and going to the 42nd Street and watching the ball drop on New Year's Eve, we'll be watching the lights rise and light up that mic right there. On the Bronx waterfront, Port Morris waterfront. Thank you for coming.